Hey guys, it's Lisa, your clinical sexologist, and I'm here inside my bedroom closet. Thank you so much for joining me tonight with this short little live. Gonna go over just a little bit about one of the biggest sex organs that we all have, and that is the brain. That's right, because in the brain, it stores all the activity for command and release. So, what I mean by that is that your brain commands certain things like food. Your brain commands that you're hungry, and it sends that perception to you, and you say, I'm hungry, and you eat food. Same way with sex. Your brain has a sensory perception for the sexual activity that we crave or desire. So, with the brain, did you know that when it was connected to a CAT scan, it showed that there are 30 active areas of the brain that light up when a person is having an orgasm? So, what that means is the hippocampus, which is all up in here, lights up with activity when you're having an orgasm, and that is where your long term and your short term memory is stored. But did you know that because when you're having sex and that area lights up for your long term and short term memory, it helps you in the future because it shows that people that have more sex, longer in life, have fewer uh, capabilities of getting dementia or Alzheimer's. True, look it up. So that's something that I want you to focus on, is that when you're having sex, it actually helps you in the long run. Because I said before, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. Now, that doesn't just mean with brain activity, that means physical as well. So with men, the longer that you're able to have an erection on a regular basis without any type of physical aid is good for strengthening your pelvic muscles and also your prostate. With women, same thing. You want that pelvic floor to stay tightened. You want to have orgasms on a regular basis because that pulsating feeling that you have, you want it to stay and not go away, because eventually, if you don't have orgasms, that feeling goes away. I want to talk about two of the most important hormones, which are your sex hormones, and that's the testosterone for men and estrogen for women. So sometimes those levels can get a little low. And that's very prevalent when you're talking about your stress hormone, cortisol. As I mentioned before, when that's released into your bloodstream, it lessens the testosterone that's in your body. And the way that we heal that is through the circadian healing therapy, and that's when you get rest. And that's vitally important. When I mentioned before, between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., your body goes through physical recovery where you're healing itself from the day. And then from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m., you're getting that mental recovery, and also you're allowing your testosterone levels and estrogen levels to uh, increase. Your oxytocin increases during that time, and that diminishes the cortisol, which is the stress hormone. You want to make sure that your dopamine levels stay active, and we've talked about dopamine. That's that excitement hormone. And then you also have the serotonin, which is that long-lasting feeling that you have after you've either been with your partner and you're sharing an intimate setting, or after you've had sex and you have that long-lasting feeling. And then oxytocin is that cuddle hormone, makes you want to stay closer to your significant other. And then you want to make sure that everything stays intact with a good diet, and that's vitally important. What you eat is vitally important to the health of your body. So if you're having some physical conditions going on, males with erectile dysfunction or females with your libido being low, you want to make sure you start with your diet first, which is essentially important. Had a lot of Q&A that I answered on my TikTok, and I'll come on to Facebook and I'll answer some questions. I'm sorry, on YouTube, and I'll answer some questions for you as well. But just wanted to get to you tonight for just a few minutes and talk about one of the biggest sex organs that we all share, which is the brain. And if you don't study a little mindfulness, when you're having sex, your mind can wander everywhere, and you're not doing your brain justice by wanting to have a great sexual encounter. Now, one of the things that I mentioned in the Q&A that I had on TikTok earlier is one of the young ladies wanted to know, because she was so busy, she enjoyed having sex, but she could never have an orgasm because her mind often wandered. So this is something that you may want to share, and I'll leave this with you before I go tonight, is that you may want to block off one sensory perception in order to increase another. So why don't you try, ladies or gentlemen, if your mind is wandering and you want to relax, study a little mindfulness. You can go into one of the places that we all have a little privacy, which is the bathroom, turn off the lights, sit there for a few minutes and think and relax yourself and learn how to just relax. And then the second thing is, when you're having sex, try a blindfold. When you're covering up that sensory perception, you're able to feel a little bit better because you can't see. Then you allow your touch and your feel take over. So that's my tip for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me, YouTube. I'll see you again soon inside my bedroom closet.